Self-care is more than the lotions, the bath bombs, and the candles, though Bath & Body Works truly hooked it up this year with their holiday sales. Those things are key for relaxation and rejuvenation, which is a part of self-care. But the part of self-care that I believe is missing, that we're not talking about as much, is the not so cute parts, right? Because not all of self-care is cute. Y'all, this is your girl Sanj. Welcome to my channel. I'm not sure why I put, my shoulder up there, but hey, I'm gonna give you some shoulder action there. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy to see you. I would love if you would give me, a little bit of love and hit that young subscribe button. On this channel, we talk about all things life, love, and locks, and I would love to have you as a part of the community. So I wanted to start off this video by talking about my own self-care journey because I am passionate about self-care, y'all. I have really been on this journey, I'd say for the past 7 or 8 years now, where I realized that I was out here in these streets wilding. Okay, I was not showering as much as I was supposed to. I was not taking care of myself. I was not taking care of my mind. I was allowing a lot of people and things and outside influences to have me feeling anxious, to have me feeling insecure. And about 7-8 years ago, I said, skirt, no more of that. And I started this journey to learning what it really looked like to take care of myself. And I found that when I looked at conventional articles around self-care, it gave me a starting point. It told me to take baths. It told me to shower daily, which I do. It told me to practice doing my makeup and dress in a way that made me feel good. And those are things that, even though I'm not perfect at any of them, those are things that really helped me level up the way I showed up externally to the world. I felt like, I was taking care of myself more. I looked better overall. And if we're talking about glow levels here, I might have been at a glow level 1. And the reason why it was a 1 is because I started the external work, but I hadn't yet addressed the internal work. And so for me, all, these years later, I'm still on this journey, and I found that the most powerful parts of self-care for me actually have nothing to do with makeup and hair and nails. And it has everything to do with setting boundaries. It has everything to do with understanding my divine purpose and creating time for that. And it has everything to do with taking care of my mind by doing what the Bible says in terms of things I should think about and ways I should handle common stuff like frustration, sadness, anxiety. And spoiler alert, a lot of the advice the Bible gives around those things involve taking everything to God. So really, I have shifted my self-care practice to be first mental, emotional, and spiritual and relational, and then all the external stuff is just an outward expression of the genuine peace I feel. It's not like the makeup and the hair and nails covering up, which is how I was before, covering up, the anxiety and the insecurity and all those things that really were not serving me. So I want to dive more into those things and tell you that if nobody has told you this already, y'all, self-care starts in the heart. It starts in the heart and the mind, actually. And it is the choice to believe that you are worthy of being taken care of. And it is the practice of deciding that you want to take care of yourself in the best way possible. And that's something that, at the surface seems pretty simple. But in reality, that belief will really change the way that you live your entire life. And so I want to call out 3 specific truths about self-care that I feel aren't being talked about that I hope will really help you take your journey to the next level. So one aspect of self-care to level up is thinking about where your thoughts dwell. A woman or a person who takes care of herself, her thoughts are going to dwell on the good. Her thoughts are going to dwell on positive things about her. Her thoughts are going to dwell on the truth. Her thoughts are going to dwell in hope, and they're also going to dwell in peace. So if any of those things that I described are not where your thoughts are dwelling, and when I say dwell, I mean that's where your thoughts have a home. We all think about different things throughout the day, and we spend times feeling different type of ways. That's all normal and good. But I'm talking about, where do your thoughts live? Where do they dwell? And if it's not in those things, then that is the perfect opportunity to take inventory of where they are dwelling and to shift them towards those things that I just talked about. Y'all, I'm gonna pop up the actual verse that this comes from on the screen, but this is a Bible verse. Y'all know I love the Bible. This channel is open to all people, whether you're Christian, non-Christian, all are welcome here. But the Bible has some really solid truths that I live by, really all of it. But all that to say, this verse in particular has leveled up my self-care, and I think it's a way, something in the Bible that actually speaks to that which we've been trying to put language around in terms of this whole self-care movement. So as it pertains to the mind, these are the things we are supposed to be thinking on. And I can guarantee y'all, as I shifted my thoughts to dwell here, now they may visit some other places. They do actually, pretty regularly sometimes, but they come back home here. This is my grounding base, and I can tell you that genuine peace has settled from this practice. The second way that you can level up your self-care is by setting boundaries. And y'all, boundaries bring peace, and without boundaries, there is no peace. That is something that 2020 has taught me, and it wasn't an easy lesson to learn, to be honest, but setting boundaries with yourself, setting boundaries with other people, and setting boundaries with your time really allows you to stay focused and also to honor and respect yourself. So I want to give y'all an example of what this looked like for me. So I spend a lot of time on the phone, and granted, it's quarantine-ish time, so I haven't been seeing a lot of people in person. So I catch up with people on the phone, and there's times where, no lie, I'll literally spend like more than 3 hours on the phone. And I love that. I love talking to people. And I found that there were times where, because I had spent so much time on the phone, when I got off the phone, I just didn't want to talk anymore. So I didn't have as much capacity to talk to my husband, who is, my first ministry. And, our home, our relationship, that all comes number one after God. So I had to set some boundaries with my phone calls by limiting them to like 30-45 minutes. And that's not to say that sometimes we might go over. If I have time or I'm out running errands and stuff, I can go over. But I had to set a boundary saying, I need to put myself and my marriage first. So I have to set a boundaries with the amount of time I'm spending on the phone. So ask yourself, where do I need to set boundaries with my time? Where do I need to set boundaries with people? Where do I need to set boundaries so that I can show up in the best way possible each and every day for myself and for the people that I love? That's really what it comes down to. That might mean choosing to close your laptop up at a certain time so that you're not up all night being anxious about work. That could mean, choosing to not scroll for hours on social media, or to do so, after you've taken time to meditate or journal or whatever it is that you do. Set those boundaries for yourself, because that is really the foundation for self-care as a whole too. And the last truth about self-care that you can use to level up your routine is to get comfortable saying no. And this is something, honestly, that I really struggle with. But in order to truly put yourself, your time, and your divine purpose first, you are going to have to say no to some things that are out of alignment, and you're also going to have to say no to some people. And so that sometimes is hard, especially if you're someone like myself who I love to please. I love to make people happy. I don't like disappointing people. So learning how to say no has been really a big part of my journey. And candidly, it's something that I'm still having to practice because it's still uncomfortable for me sometimes. But learning to say no, it just means you're saying no for that time, for that moment. But it means you're saying yes to something that is more important to you for that time and for that moment. So for example, say you have a business and you really want to put time into that business so that it can grow, but you find yourself having all these other things vying for your time, whether it's TV, it may even be social interactions with friends that you literally love. Saying no is, tough in those moments, but what you're saying yes to is yes to your business. And that business might be a part of your divine purpose, or it might be something that you really need to give your time to for it to grow the way you want to. Another example of saying no is sometimes you're saying no to yourself. Sometimes the kind act is to say, no, Sanj, it's not time to get up right now. You didn't sleep much, you need an extra hour. I'm gonna say no to this alarm right now, and I'm gonna allow you to get another hour of sleep. It might be saying, no, Sanj, that thought you just thought about yourself, it's not true, and I'm not gonna allow you to go down that path because it's going to take you to a dark place, which is not where you want to live and dwell with your thoughts. So getting comfortable with that practice, and I promise it gets easier as you practice it, but I don't know if it's ever easy. It's definitely not for me. That is going to level you up. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope that it was encouraging to you. I hope that it inspired you to think about your self-care practice a little differently and to supplement that beautiful external self-care work that you do with some of the internal work too, because it's really just going to take it to the next level and allow you to be truly grounded. And if you haven't subscribed already, go on and do that. Go on and do that. Would love to have you. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Until next time.